For 1,700 years, no one saw this city until the shovels wakened time itself. Located in Italy's Campania region, about 23 kilometers southeast of Naples, Pompeii was an ancient Roman city built on the slopes of Mount Vesuvius. On August 24, 79 AD, a massive eruption of Vesuvius buried the city under volcanic ash, stones, and clouds of gas, taking the lives of thousands. In the following hours, scorching pyroclastic waves obliterated what was left, leveling buildings and freezing life in its final moments. Covered by nearly 7 meters of ash and pumice, Pompeii remained untouched for 1,700 years. This thick blanket of ash turned the city into a time capsule. Houses, streets, furniture, even loaves of bread still sitting in their ovens were discovered perfectly preserved. Human remains were found frozen in the positions of their last moments, some seeking refuge in their homes, others fleeing the catastrophe. Through them, we gained a vivid glimpse into daily life in ancient Rome. When excavations began in the 18th century, the world was introduced to something unprecedented in history, a Roman city frozen in time. Geography and history of Pompeii. Pompeii was built on a lava plateau near the mouth of the Sarnus River, modern Sarno. The same eruption also destroyed the neighboring towns of Herculaneum, Stabai, and Tor Annunziata. These sites together were inscribed on the UNESCO World Heritage List in 1997. The origins of Pompeii go back to the Neolithic period. Its earliest inhabitants were native Oscan-speaking people. By the 8th century BC, the region came under Greek cultural influence from across the Mediterranean. In the 7th century BC, the Etruscans gained control of Campania, maintaining it until their defeat by King Hiero I of Syracuse in 474 BC. Later, the Samnites, an Italic tribe, took over and developed Pompeii into a Samnite settlement. In 310 BC, the Roman fleet arrived at Pompeii's harbor, marking the beginning of Roman involvement. After the Samnite Wars, the city became part of the Roman Confederation. However, it was only after the Social War, 89 BC, that Pompeii was fully integrated into Roman culture. Following General Lucius Cornelius Sulla's siege, the city was granted Roman citizenship. Latin became the official language, and its architecture and administration were reshaped in the Roman style. A devastating earthquake in 62 AD caused major damage to the city, and just as reconstruction efforts were underway, the eruption of 79 AD struck. The letters of Pliny the Younger, describing the death of his uncle Pliny the Elder and the disaster itself, remain among the most important historical accounts of the event. In mere minutes, ash buried homes, people, and streets, leaving Pompeii sealed beneath a 7-meter layer of volcanic debris. Discovery and archaeological excavations. The first traces of Pompeii were noticed in the late 16th century by architect Domenico Fontana. In 1709, excavations began in Herculaneum, and in 1748, systematic digging started in Pompeii. A Latin inscription found in 1763 confirmed that the site was indeed Pompeii. In the 18th and 19th centuries, archaeologists Carl Weber and later Giuseppe Fiorelli introduced scientific excavation techniques. Fiorelli's most remarkable contribution was the plaster casting method, filling the voids left by decomposed bodies with plaster to recreate the final poses of the victims. These haunting casts remain among Pompeii's most striking discoveries. Throughout the 20th century, archaeologists like Amedeo Maiuri continued excavations, uncovering cemeteries, villas, and roadways outside the city walls. Architecture of Pompeii. Pompeii's city layout was irregular, shaped by the prehistoric lava flow beneath it. The city walls, about 3 kilometers long, had 7 main gates. The main street, Via Stabiana, connected the Vesuvius Gate in the north to the Stabai Gate in the south. Public buildings were concentrated in 3 main areas: the Forum, the Triangular Forum, and the Amphitheater District. The Forum served as the heart of religious and commercial life, housing temples to Jupiter, Juno, and Minerva, the Macellum, market, the Basilica, courthouse, and the Temple of Venus. The triangular forum featured Pompeii's oldest sanctuary, the Doric Temple, while the amphitheater, one of the earliest stone amphitheaters in the Roman world, hosted gladiatorial games. Pompeii's domestic architecture provides an unparalleled record of Roman home design. The House of the Faun, the House of the Vetii, and the House of the Silver Wedding stand as prime examples of opulent Roman residences. Their interiors were richly decorated with mosaics and frescoes, the most famous being the Alexander mosaic, depicting the battle between Alexander the Great and Persian king Darius. Impact on European culture. The rediscovery of Pompeii in the 18th century sparked a European fascination with antiquity. Scholars such as Johann Joachim Winckelmann and Giambattista Piranesi fueled this passion, giving rise to the neoclassical movement, which replaced the Rococo style. Pompeii's influence spread across Europe, from Marie Antoinette's lavish interiors in France to the works of British architects James and Robert Adam. The city reignited a collective longing to reconnect with the past, reviving the art, fashion, and architecture of ancient Rome. Scientific and historical importance. Pompeii is not only invaluable to art history, but also to the study of everyday Roman life. The preserved bakeries, workshops, taverns, and graffiti reveal details of social class, commerce, and culture. The inscriptions range from love notes to political slogans, echoing the voices of ordinary citizens. Even loaves of bread recovered from ovens provide tangible evidence of ancient Roman cuisine. For archaeologists, Pompeii is a laboratory of time, offering data on urban planning, religion, and human behavior, frozen in a single moment. However, even today, the site faces threats from weather, vegetation, and tourism. Ongoing preservation and restoration efforts remain crucial to protect this fragile window into the past. Conclusion. Pompeii is far more than an archaeological site. It is a silent witness to human history. Buried beneath the ashes of Vesuvius, this city continues to tell the story of ancient Rome's glory, daily life, and tragedy. Visiting Pompeii today feels like walking through time itself, where silence speaks and the past still breathes beneath the dust of eternity.